Good evening, Fredonia. You're listening to The Local Lowdown on WCVF 88.9 The Voice and WDVL 89.5 The Inferno. I'm your co-host, Mel, executive producer and promotions lead.
Hello, I am your other co-host. I am Jordan, and I'm also the A&R lead here.
Ayo, coming back at you from the booth. It's Alex. Ayo, it's Alex, the technical director. So excited to be back here in Graham Command.
Yeah. Also, I'd like to point out that I did my intro without any mistake in a very long time.
Give it up, people.
Thank you.
Tonight's show is brought to you by Fredonia Radio Systems, in a group effort to promote and showcase the local music scene here in Fredonia, but also Western New York at large. Welcome to The Local Lowdown.
On this episode, we have our lovely, remind me how to say your last name, Jade.
Giambrone.
See, I can't do that, so I'm gonna let her. I'm gonna have her say her last name. But welcome. Super happy to have you. I did want to just preface before we get into the questions. We know who you are. You're a student here.
Yeah.
And you did drop off one of your CDs. We'll get on things question about that. But you did drop off one of your CDs here at the station, and we all got a chance to listen to them. I thought they were great. I just like to preface that. But backtracking a bit, I did want to touch upon, I guess, your origins of music and how you got into it. So why don't you start off by introducing yourself and giving any backstory of what you have in your journey with music?
Sure, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Jade Giambrone, as she said. I'm sorry, what's your name?
Mel.
Mel.
Yes.
Okay, Mel and Jordan.
Yep.
Okay, I only talked to Jordan. So yeah, I'm a soulful country independent recording artist from Cherry Creek, New York. It's like 30 minutes from Fredonia, and music is my catharsis. I really just I love to write songs. I love to play my guitar, and it's just a friend that I always have, and it's like there for me,
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
So you started playing your guitar at 14, am I correct?
Yes.
What inspired you to pick up the guitar, and how would you say you express yourself artistically through that?
Well, I've always loved country music. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a really big fan of like Casey Musgraves. She's like my idol, and I like the fact that I can really just channel how I feel through the instrument, and I feel like I relate to it the most. Like honestly, like country music in general is my main scene, but I'm also like bluesy and folksy. So the guitar is really perfect for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you remember the very first song you made on the guitar? And I mean, you already mentioned the specific artist that you most idolize, but is there any other ones that inspired you to make music?
Yeah, Bonnie Raitt, Sheryl Crow, and Joni Mitchell are some other really big inspirations of mine.
Nice. Do you remember the first song that you learned to play? Like, it could have been a cover, of course.
So like the first song I wrote, going back to Mel's question, was Golden Holiday. I was 14.
Oh, wow.
It's on YouTube. You can check it out. It's, and I didn't record it until like last December. So I was like, got back into the scene. And the first song that I ever learned on guitar was called Dance, Dance, Dance. It's by the Steve Miller Band.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks.
Wow, that's pretty incredible that the first song you ever wrote, for one, is a Christmas song.
Yeah, it was a Christmas song.
And it's also on your first project that you put out.
Yeah.
So that's
I was
cool.
like, why not? I mean, what else am I going to do with it? Just going to sit there and collect dust? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So let's get into that. Just Jade. It's your first streaming launch, your first project. It's very impressive. Thanks for dropping it off here, as Mel
really
mentioned.
appreciate that.
Yeah. So how did these songs begin? When did this project first start coming together?
Yeah, well, like I said, I really started writing and playing the guitar at 14. And a lot of these songs are just my heart on the paper. Like, it's just how I feel. And, I draw a lot of inspiration from my life experiences and others' life experiences. And if I can be an outlet for those people that don't feel like they have a voice or they feel suppressed, I want to do that. I want to make that happen. And, the title, actually, it came from, I wrote the song first, Just Jade, and then the title came to be. And I just thought to myself, I was like, what do I want the title to be? I was like so caught between like what should it be? Like what's catchy? Like what are people gonna remember? I was like, Just Jade. It has a ring to it. And the adjective just, it can be used in so many different, contexts. It can be used to, hint to a sense of inferiority.
Yeah.
Being honest and fair, or just being you, being unapologetically yourself. And it just really resonated with me. I was like, that's all a person can ever be, right? You know? So
I love that. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious, besides the final song, Golden Holiday, what was the first song that you wrote for the project?
The first song that I wrote for the project was How Dare You.
Nice. Intro track.
Yeah, like I wrote that in 2021. I didn't finish it. I didn't finish the bridge till like 2022. So it's kind of interesting how my song process works, actually. A lot of times it starts off as like a melody, and I'll find like this really cool set of like notes that I'm like, ooh, like I'll just like get my phone and I'll like record it. And sometimes I get both. Sometimes I get like the words and the notes at the same time, and that's like a beautiful thing. And that's what happened with How Dare You. Like both of them came out at the same time. It was like serendipity. Like it was meant to happen. And at that point in my life, that's how I was feeling, and it just came to be. Yeah.
And when you first started writing that, were you like, okay, this is for something bigger. Like this is going to go on to a full.
I mean,
EP.
I wasn't sure it would blossom into that. I was kind of, I just, no matter what, I would just write. Like, I'd come home from school, had a bad day, write. I'm after dinner, write. Like, I'm in the shower. I got this idea. I just got to write it down. I just, no matter what, I always want to have a means to express myself. And music really lets me do that, you know?
Yeah. Is it satisfying now to have and be able to share that with people? Because now the music is out. I'm pleasantly surprised with, the feedback that I've gotten from people. Yeah.
And I just want to keep creating, because no matter what, at the end of the day, I'm an artist. And I want to maintain my integrity as an artist. No matter what happens, like, I don't want to sell out, period. Like, I really don't. And, some bigger artists, they do that, they get their foot in the door, and then they make whatever they want. That's nice, but for me, it's just being true to myself. Overall is like really important.
Yeah.
Right. I had a question regarding your EP and I guess the layout and how, in terms of, I guess, which one came first and there's a word to it. What is it? What's not for layout? The numerical order.
Numerical order.
Yeah, of which song came first and which song came afterwards.
The track list.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. Was there any specific song that you'd want for it, to be played first? And was there any thought put into that?
Well, definitely, I wanted to kick it off with like a barn burner. So like, How Dare You was my barn burner.
Gotcha.
I love that word. I love using that word.
Yeah, thanks. And I knew that it had a spark to it, and I wanted to grab the attention of the listeners, because I'm like, if no one knows who I am, like, what song do I want to represent me the most? And it was How Dare You. And so, we shot a music video for that. And I mean, it's a powerful song. It's a really powerful song.
That song is totally an intro track, especially works well for, people probably hearing you for the first time on this. And it's definitely like I'm here.
Yeah.
So I like that decision for sure.
And as far as the other tracks, I mean, I really pride myself in like making sure that I like the order of them. Like before I even released it, I was like, I listened to them and I was like, do these like vibe? Could this be like a vibe? Do I take you for a ride with my music?
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what I really wanted to do. And I remember Unless You Believe, I actually wrote that my senior year of high school. And I it was my I sang it at graduation. And I just, Unless You Believe is really an ode to like my faith and my belief in in God, and I just get a lot of strength from him. And I think that's where my boldness comes from as an artist, to confront like topics that other artists would be like, ooh, you're gonna sing about that? Like, really? Like, I just use my faith. I think you gotta keep the faith no matter what. It's really important.
And that's kind of where I got this whole story. And this is something that we've talked with other artists on the show when it comes to albums or EPs and the layout of how they have their track list. Of them, either, I forgot which one it was. Was it Violent Graffiti? I don't remember. But, their entire album sounded like one big, like, movie track, at least to me.
Yeah.
And at least when I listened to your EP, it was more just, and especially, like, the way that I guess it was sung, it almost, like, took you a ride of, like, this is me, and then kind of, like, coming down and, like, this big wave of just expressing oneself. And I don't know how to put it, but I can definitely relate. But it's interesting how you were mentioning the layout of how and why you chose the songs.
Yeah.
Also, Just Jade features a lot more instruments than you brought today. Than just guitar and vocals. And I wanted to know what other instruments do you play?
So besides the guitar, I do dabble in piano. I'm not that good at it. I should probably try to get better. And I played the flute inside band in high school. And there's another instrument I don't really play that often. It's called the ocarina.
I have heard of that.
You think like Legends of Zelda.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah. And tambourine is, I guess if that's like an instrument, anyone can play tambourine.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
Gotcha. So were there any people that helped you with
Oh, yeah.
it? Okay.
My producer, Cam Lord at Arkwright Loft Studios, he was a really driving force for this project too. Like I would send him my rough cut demo of me and my guitar, and he'd be like, what if we put this and what if we put that? And then, like see how it sounds. And it just like, it married it, it just came together. It was so beautiful. I loved his input. He really just had an ear. He had an ear for what instruments that I should include in my music.
Sweet.
So
Yeah.
even Just Jade. So yeah, put like the keys and, the bass in there. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's also really nice to hear, just because I know especially artists who've been working on music for years, they have an idea of what their music wants to sound like. And some artists are very cutthroat with that. They're like, no, I want it to be exactly like this, and I want it to be done like this.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It was like sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No,
it was like my first time even being in the studio. So I was like really, I was kind of like, learning as I went, learning as I go, and trying things out and seeing what I did and didn't like. And he was just always, very patient with me as an artist. And I think, the bottom line is, no matter what you're making, if you're not making it with people that are rooting for you and, have your best interests in mind, then, it's just not going to work out. And he really, he helped me along the way. And I'm forever grateful to Cam. So
Absolutely. It's definitely a good thing when the people that you're working with are also people that you like.
Yeah.
I actually remember
Yeah.
Twimso saying kind of the same thing on our second episode ever, way back in the archives. I remember, I'm going to guess Damien. I think he was sitting all the way on the right, and he was like, advice for bands starting up. Make sure that you're playing with people that you like and not just people that you like how they play.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There's a
Also
little word of advice for you.
It goes with projects as well.
Yes.
I guess I kind of like you guys. Not to get all sappy.
Thanks, Mel.
Yeah. So when you were putting together this album and this track list and everything we've been talking about, what signified what was a good song and like what was a good idea and what you're going to keep going with? And even maybe when you're creating, just when you're starting a song, how are you? What gets you excited,
Well, I got to tell you, it's the melody for me. Like, if it has a good melody, a good hook, and it draws people in, and I think that's really what determines a good song for me. And recording songs like on my phone and like demos, like obviously the rough cut version isn't going to sound perfect and that's okay.
Yeah.
But you know, when I get hit with inspiration, I want to expedite it and I want to use it to its full potential. And that's why I think, you know, songwriting in general, like if the songs aren't real, people are going to know. If they can't feel it, people are going to know.
Mm-hmm.
You want people to be able to feel your music and feel your experience through it. And I think that's really what characterizes a good song. Yeah.
Oh, are you done?
I think she summed it up. I didn't have anything else to add.
Left you speechless. I wanted to go back to Just Jade.
Sure.
The lyrics themselves are quite a handful.
Yeah.
In
there's
like
a lot there.
in the best way. And
Definitely.
I'm gonna try to summarize this question, but I don't want to take it out
Sure.
of the words that it is because I think it's so beautifully written. Shout out to Jordan's A&R team. Y'all do fantastic.
I actually did this one myself, so
Shout out to
me.
Jordan.
But thank you, Sebastian and Aaron. You guys did really great on these questions, so thank you.
So Just Jade I already messed up the question. Encapsulates the struggles, in quotations, encapsulates the struggles I face being a woman inside the 21st century and an outcast in social bubbles. It confronts misogyny and social rejection. Do you find that your music is often driven by those relevant messages? And you just mentioned a lot of this being based on personal experience.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. A lot of my music has the root of toxic masculinity.
Yes.
Drop the mic. And I think that's because a lot of men, I'm not saying all dudes, because, you know, there's some cool dudes out there. They just don't know how to approach or appreciate strong women.
Yes.
And, yeah, and especially as a country artist, it's like, it's a very male-dominated industry.
For sure.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, we're singing about booze or my truck. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Sometimes fishing. Sometimes bikinis.
The list goes on, you know, and I just want to kind of change that narrative. I think it's a long time that women just, you know, be their strong, beautiful selves, you know, and be accepted for that. And, you know, even starting out, like I was, there was this all male band that I was a part of for a little bit, and I rehearsed with them, and I even did a gig with them, but, you know, there was this silent expectation of me to not get paid, and I hadn't realized that until the first gig, and I was like, wow, I said, this just made me realize that I'm going to have to work twice as hard as a woman to get the recognition that men do, you know?
Absolutely.
And so that's really, that's what a lot of my songs are about, and I'm not ashamed of it, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, you're not wrong with, I mean, and I'm assuming because I'm not all that familiar with the country music scene, but I could speak as large as the music industry in general.
Right.
You could tell like a lot has shifted and a lot of things are better.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of expectations when it comes to like gender or race and stuff like that of how people should write music or what they should be writing about, and a lot of expectations in between. So I think that's something that's like not written in writing, but something that I think most artists don't realize sometimes that they are changing. And I think your music definitely touches on like a lot of subjects that a lot of people are thinking, but they never say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That segue was for you, Jordan. Go for it.
Well said, segue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, while we're on this topic, this might be a bit of a tougher question, but we'll talk it out.
Sure.
If there was anything that you could change about the music industry, if you could, just snap your fingers, what would it be? For the better, of course.
I mean, I think that artists really have to advocate for their music, and like, I mean, case in point, even like Elvis, his manager literally like took him for all he was worth, and it's not right. Like the artists don't get like they don't get nearly like as much. You know, nowadays it's a little. I guess it depends on what situation you're talking about, but. You know, owning your own masters, I think that was a big thing that came up in the music industry, and like owning your own work and not getting the credit that you deserve as an artist, and just, you know, I think leveling the playing field a bit and having like female artists, you know, get featured on, you know, whether it be like even like shows like this that promote local artists and let their voices be heard.
Yeah.
I think independent radio stations are really a big driving force. And, you know,
Thanks, Alex.
just letting non-bias, you know, non-top 40
Yes.
people let their voices get heard. I think that's really important.
Definitely. That recognition is important.
Yeah.
And with artists getting credit, you know, that should just be like the bare minimum. It's
given.
crazy that,
Yeah.
you know, that is such a problem. So
It's it's also really nice to know that a lot of artists who are, you know, planning to make it, you know, as a career are a lot more involved in advocating for themselves, knowing the business side of a lot of how they want to promote themselves, because a bit of history right here. But at least back then in the 70s and 90s, it just goes for America. I'm not sure how it was all around the world. But it was just so easy to be like, hey, I play my music. I just need someone to handle all the back work and all the money and all the stuff like that. And it sucks because a lot of artists, you know, no matter how talented and great that they were, it all really depended on how people managed them and promoted them. And obviously radio stations were huge back then. And were, as you mentioned, a big driving force of how they were viewed. But I think especially like right now, it's interesting to see how at least artists, and it makes me happy that artists are a lot more willing to be like, yeah, I want to learn how the marketing side goes with the business side. Like they're a lot more involved because, you know, they don't want to get taken advantage of. And it makes a big difference. That's crazy. Sorry, I went on a tangent for that.
are you teaching a lesson today? I didn't bring my notebook.
So subject number 2. I don't have one. It was for you
Subject
to transition.
number 2 is music.
Let's go, Alex.
Transition.
I was thinking the same thing, buddy. All right, we're about to transition into our set list. Take it away, Jade.
This is Breakdown Before the Breakthrough. You wanna go far, but you haven't left your seat. You want all the fun without the receipt. You want a good time until it's time to leave. You wanted a discount when you discounted me. So I might break down a little, but I ain't giving in. Break down a little, but I can handle it. Break down a little, even when life breakdown before the breakthrough.
Woo.
This is just Jade. I left it all on the table last night, so don't tell me to take it back. And lately any good intentions have fallen through the cracks. It's hard to understand people when an illusion paints the facts. Don't try to be nice just to trip me up. Decide to shut doors in my face and prove I'm not enough. You've been throwing too much shade. Keep looking at me with your icy eyes, and maybe one day people will see through all your bold-faced lies. Just know the scars won't fade. In a world full of copies, it's hard to stand out, but it's not worth losing yourself in the hype of the crowd. So I'm just Jade. I'm just Jade. I'm just Jade. Sometimes my peers look at me like I'm a total alien. Oh my gosh, she's such a weirdo. She dyed her hair green. What a freak I must be, 'cause I don't act like them. I guess I'm not desperate enough to want the cool kids as my friends. Don't try to be nice just to trip me up. Decide to shut doors in my face and prove I'm not enough. You've been throwing too much shade. Keep looking at me with your icy eyes, and maybe one day people will see through all your bold-faced lies. Just know the scars won't fade. In a world full of copies, it's hard to stand out, but it's not worth losing yourself in the hype of the crowd. So I'm just Jade. I'm just Jade. Karma will have the last laugh, so don't feel blue. Let them talk about you to thine own self. Be true. Don't try to be nice just to trip me up. Decide to shut doors in my face and prove I'm not enough. You've been throwing too much shade. Keep looking at me with your icy eyes, and maybe one day people will see through all your bold-faced lies. Just know the scars won't fade. In a world full of copies, it's hard to stand out, but it's not worth losing yourself in the hype of the crowd. So I'm just Jade. I'm just Jade. I'm just Jade.
Woo.
That must make me want to cry. I don't know why.
Ready to cry?
No, yeah, I was like, it almost made me cry.
Aw.
That's cute.
I hope you're not too sad. That's not my goal. This is How Dare You. I guess I really should have saw that from the start. You might have loved me, but you had a two-faced heart. Keeping your distance, yet always wanting more. Hoping I'd let it slide, but boy, I'm just too smart. You thought you had me in the palm of your hands, but I am mine before I am any man's. How dare you act this way, sneaking out for sugar and then eating my cake? How dare you try to lie, playing with my emotions on the sly? How dare you always flirt, giving another girl attention and treating me like dirt? I didn't wanna believe it was true, but all I can say is, how dare you? Ooh, just like a moth drawn to a flame. You drew me in and I was hooked on your taste. Before I realized that this love was bittersweet. You can keep the girl if you still wanna cheat. The only person I can be is myself, but I'm not just yours if you're with somebody else. How dare you act this way, sneaking out for sugar and then eating my cake? How dare you try to lie, playing with my emotions on the sly? How dare you always flirt, giving another girl attention and treating me like dirt? I didn't wanna believe it was true, but all I can say is, how dare you? Ooh, if love is a game, I don't wanna play. The odds are against me. You can't be trusted. My heart has rusted. 1 + 1 ain't 3, and I ain't your baby. So how dare you act this way, sneaking out for sugar and then eating my cake? How dare you try to lie, playing with my emotions on the sly? How dare you always flirt, giving another girl attention and treating me like dirt? I didn't wanna believe it was true, but all I can say is, how dare you? Ooh. This is still on my mind. Love is a thing that's hard to find. We want picture perfect, but that's a lie. The truth is here's a new one. Damsel in Distress. I'm stuck in this tower where I've been all my life. The darkest hours of day and of night. I'm always hoping that Prince Charming will save me, but he got drunk and I got tired of waiting. I'm not sure, damsel in distress, I know what they said, but I don't wanna be that girl. Not sure, damsel in distress, didn't fall and hit my head. Don't need a boy to rock my world. Oh no, I thought of leaving at least once, maybe twice, but I never did put up a fight. It's easier to stay than it is to leave. At least that's what I thought before I was set free. I'm not sure, damsel in distress, I know what they said, but I don't wanna be that girl. Not sure, damsel in distress, didn't fall and hit my head. Don't need a boy to rock my world. Oh, oh. I'm either too much or not enough, just too much or not enough, too much or not enough, too much or not enough. And that's why I'm not sure, damsel in distress, I know what they said, but I don't wanna be that girl. Not sure, damsel in distress, didn't fall and hit my head. Don't need a boy to rock my world. Oh, oh, no, oh, oh, oh.
Thank you so much for that set, Jade. It was wonderful. I have a question regarding performances. How long have you been performing live?
Since I was 15, so 3 years.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
okay. Is there any fond learning experience that you've taken from performing live?
I would say, like, I guess, like, be organized enough to have, like, a set list together,
Okay.
but also, like, have songs in your back pocket. So, like, you know, if you get, like, a request, you can be like, hey, do that. And also, I think this is kind of controversial, but I feel like putting a tip jar out there is okay as an artist.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, like, there's, like, this stigma attached to it. It's like, oh, like, don't ask for money, but, you know, meanwhile, I'm a broke college student. Like, oh, what am I supposed to do? This is my art. This is my life, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and I mean, like, the crowd, you just got to feel the crowd. You got to feel the crowd.
A lot
Whatever,
of vibe check.
you know, don't be playing songs that are inappropriate for your crowd. If they want to hear upbeat stuff, play the upbeat stuff you got, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If you're at a funeral, you're not going to play, you know, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I guess maybe you could. I mean, that's I wouldn't play How Dare You at a funeral. I guess I'll put it like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, just feel your crowd and do you and do what you know and hope people like it.
Yeah.
Be your authentic self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's some great advice. Do you have any other advice for aspiring musicians?
Yeah, I would say that you shouldn't really wait for someone to validate your talent. If you have a burning desire to make something, you should just, no matter what you have to do to get there, is, you know, taking baby steps towards your goal is really important, you know, and trying to meet people that want to help you blossom as an artist.
Yeah.
And meet you where you're at. I think that's really important too.
Agreed.
Well. I'm looking at my little scripty here, and it's my time to hop
Your
back
one
in the
question.
episode. My one question. Let me tell you, It's been a long winter break. It's been a very long winter break. I've been
In hibernation, right?
in hibernation. The gremlin's been under the bridge, just waiting to get back into the studio and find new trinkets to add to the Gold Hoard. Now, I know you've got the Just Jade CDs. I know they're floating around out there.
Yes.
In the market.
In the ether.
They're in the ether.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I was looking everywhere. I was like, boy, I wonder if I can find one in the ether. And I haven't been able to find them anywhere.
Well-
I haven't been able to find them online or nothing.
Well, I'm going to be real with you. I like to support local businesses. So you will find my CDs as of right now at Chautauqua Audio Works. Shout out. They're a local music business in Sheridan. So not too far from here. But, I'm thinking about getting a website. I just gotta like do it. And distribution is something that I'm kind of a little unsure about, like, because I don't really have like a label behind me. So like it's basically all me and like
It's a process.
It's a process and I'm working through it. And you know what? If you want one, I can hook you up, my dude. Okay?
See.
So you don't gotta rob the one from the station, right? That's ours.
No,
the
we
station.
got the one in the station. I was like, oh, yeah, new merch. I can't do anything with it.
Suck.
It's a promo copy.
I had to give it to Jordan. I was like, here you go. I
Take it
shed a
away.
little tear, but now I know where I can find them. Now I know where I can
Yeah.
add to the hoard. So
Yeah.
Merch Gremlin Expedition.
yes, a little expedition to Sheridan, New York.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Can I just say, when you first dropped off the CD,
Yeah.
my favorite color is green. So immediately I was like, I love everything about this CD. I'm not sure if you and I have the same idea.
Oh, here we go.
Might.
Here it is.
Maybe we've been dating for that long that we might just. But I feel like, and mind you, cassettes are coming back. We have them together. No. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm gonna speak like you. But I feel like a really nice forest green. That's my favorite color. But any type of green or matcha green, that one's really pretty too. Or some type of green.
Yeah.
Cassette would be really pretty to put on it, especially since the cover itself is obviously like on grass and it's super
Yeah.
vibrant and stuff. But it's just a thought. I think it'd really be pretty.
Yeah,
Also, because
thank you.
it's green.
Yeah, thanks for suggesting that. Yeah, no, actually green is my favorite color. So like
go.
Look at
See.
that.
Aquarius and
green.
green.
Dude, we've been oh boy.
Yeah.
We've been pumping out the merch ideas, let me tell you.
Green is a popular one.
I know. We should make a local lowdown label to make merch. I think that would be a great idea
For who?
for everyone.
Everyone under the sun.
Oh gosh, just gonna find me at home on
Yes.
Saturday or Wednesday during BJ's, just painting
Excuse me.
cassettes.
Painting cassettes,
Just
that'd be so
painting
great.
cassettes.
But besides the CDs and our hopeful cassettes,
Yeah.
is there any plans for anything else in the future? Maybe like some stickers or something? or-
Yeah, I mean, like, as of right now, I'm just, like, focusing on the music. But, like, merch has definitely crossed my mind. And I know that marketing is, like, important.
Mm.
So I was thinking, like, I don't know, maybe some, like, T-shirts with, like a slogan.
Mhm.
Like, be real, be true, unafraid, just Jade, or something. I don't know. I don't know. That's really dramatic, but
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like that would catch many people.
yeah. Or even just, like, the album art. Like, that's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anything to add to the gold hoard.
To
Yeah.
the gold hoard.
to the gold
I
hoard.
think that's all you meant. I had a question
Sure.
regarding, and because you've told us, I guess, the whole journey of it and how you were creating music and your EP and how that all came about. And since you have been performing since you were 15,
15.
15, starting music at 14, what would you say to your past self now that you are kind of developing, these new skills, wanting to put yourself out there and taking these steps? What would you say to your past self?
I would tell her that she should just keep persevering and, writing songs and doing her own thing, and that consistency is really the key to success in this life. If you're consistent, then, eventually there's going to be there's going to be a breakdown before the breakthrough.
Hey.
And, I just want to be a part of that. I want to see it happen for her, I do.
Sweet. That being said, looking on into the future, is there any upcoming releases or shows that we should look out for in the future?
Man, she just dropped a project for you.
What?
It was October, man.
You want me not to say this question?
No, I'm kidding.
But is there anything in the future that you're planning on?
Yeah, I
planning to
mean,
perform?
I have a gig. Well, when this airs, probably it's already gonna be over. But I have a gig this Friday at my hometown fire hall. It's gonna be like a music showcase of all like the local artists in the area are gonna get together. South Dayton, New York, fire hall.
For all of those that have time travel machines, make sure you're
Yeah,
at the gig.
make sure you're there. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I just have to get into like approaching more venues and with my business cards and CDs and like book me, like I don't know, just like getting my name out there, no matter however way I have to do it. And I mean, I'm just really grateful to even be here right now. Actually, thank you so much for having me.
Of course, yeah. You used your CD business card trick on me very well.
And it's
and me. I grabbed the last business card at the BJ's performance last semester.
Oh my gosh!
I have the Jade business card like right on my fridge.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Well, it worked, and you know why? Because of consistency. There you go.
Right.
And now that we are done, that concludes another episode of the Local Lowdown. Thanks again, Jade, for coming on. This is our first episode for the semester, and it ran surprisingly smooth in comparison to the other ones we've done. So thank you.
Thanks so much for having me.
Of course.
Pro gamers at this point in time.
I agree.
I don't know what type of gamer I am, but sure.
Thanks for tuning in to the Local Lowdown on 88.9 WCVF, The Voice, and 89.5 WDVL, The Inferno. We'll be back next week with some more crazy good local music. Same time, same place.
Goodbye.